Is going to be, it's called Stand or Kneel and Colin Kaepernick and his protests. So obviously everybody knows, or maybe everybody doesn't know, but there's some racial problems going around in the United States, specifically with like police brutality, stuff like that. Everybody knows something about that going on. Well, Colin Kaepernick is the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, and he decided that he was going to try to make a statement for the people that are being racially oppressed and dealing with these problems. He was going to make a statement and he was going to kneel during the national anthem. And go ahead. So your First Amendment is the freedom of speech, religion, and the press. The United States takes great pride in our freedom, and that's what makes it what it is. And I included my favorite picture to the background on my phone. Go ahead. So I'm going to talk about Kaepernick's motives for the protest, which I kind of already did. He's trying to make a statement about police brutality and just all the racial oppression going on in the United States right now. What exactly he's doing during the protest, which is just him refusing to stand for the national anthem, and people's different opinions. So the quote that I found, Les Carpenter's the author, it's from Kaepernick's anthem protest is the perfect way to highlight America's race problem. He said, "I'm not going to stand up to show pride in the flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. To me, this is bigger than football, and it would be selfish on my part to take or to look the other way. There are bodies in the street and people getting paid leave and getting away with murder." Another one that he said, "To me, this is something that has to change." This is from the same article, by the way, just the next paragraph down. "To me, this is something that has to change. When there is significant change, and I feel like the flag represents what it's supposed to represent, this country is representing the people that the way it is supposed to, then I will stand." Go ahead. Another thing that I found out was that there's other athletes. So like here's the Miami Dolphins, another NFL football team. There were other people on the team that decided to kneel down. You can see his teammate down here helped him or was following him. And then these are soccer players. And then there's also, there was a college where it happened in, there was a high school. So I mean, it obviously has a big impact on society, and other people are deciding to follow along with them. Carl Eller he's a retired defensive end. He played for the Minnesota Vikings, and he actually quit football halfway through his career to join the National Guard, and he was a part of Operation Iraqi Freedom. Which I thought I was going to pick somebody that was, like, obviously, he kind of is not to oppose him, but he does kind of oppose him in the same way. He says, "Here's why it's important in sports. It's the only place we hear the anthem, and they don't play it at concerts, they don't play it at movie theaters, and they don't play it at church. Sports is the only place you show allegiance to the anthem, and it's important for sports in that tradition." And then, athletes can break ground and forge new frontiers. So he starts talking about how athletes have such a powerful voice in today's society. A lot of people look up to professional athletes. And he says, "With movements like Black Lives Matter, there's some recognition of what it was like in the 1960s. There's a great burden and weight as an athlete, and that's not a responsibility we should take lightly. We can play a crucial part in what's going on, but we should not confuse the two arenas. Make a stand, let's do that, but let's make sure we're all fighting for one America." Another popular thing going around was the argument that him protesting the national anthem and the flag was disrespectful to the people that have fought for the country, and I mean that kind of speaks for itself, but he has no intention of stopping until things change. So there's, go ahead. Alex Boone was one of his teammates on the 49ers when they went to the Super Bowl, and he said he was not very happy about it, as you can see from the first line. "You should have some effing respect for people who serve, especially people that lost their life to protect our freedom. We're out here playing a game, making millions of dollars, but people are losing their life, and you don't have the common courtesy to do that. That just drove me nuts." See, go ahead. And then the next, I talked about the different sides. So obviously side one would be pro Kaepernick and agreeing with everything he's doing. Side two would be opposing what he's doing and disagreeing with it all. And then there's side three, which is like, kind of like where I stand. I agree that there's a big problem, but I think that he could have found a better way to protest. But at the same time, go ahead. I've kind of found that like the way everybody complains about all the like protesting that's going on and how there's all this violence going on, Well, this was kind of his idea to peacefully protest. So this is his opportunity to perform the peaceful protest everybody wanted to do without people are bashing him for peacefully protesting. So like people can't win, is what I'm getting at. It's very debatable. And that's pretty much all I have, but I just want people to kind of like see that the peaceful part of it is more important than the violent part of it, and that people don't see. People are getting all angry about him doing that, but at the same time, that's the most peaceful way to go about it probably is something like that instead of rioting and stuff like that. So that's about all I got.